Hello, everybody, and welcome back to today's episode of Jace Beleren Must Die. Things are getting spicy. Spicy times for Torgor. Yeah. How is it that Torgor ended up being the character that just has like the most romantic stuff going on? Is that, Masood, is that you doing that on purpose, or is it just happening?
You know, if you lead with your character's honesty and put your heart on the sleeve, just open yourself up to what the universe allows.
Just saying yes and to life.
Yes and to life. And it really helps if you don't secretly lie to all of your friends constantly. Not
that anybody we know would do that.
Not that any of the single party members would do that.
I openly lie to my friends.
Thinking about it, I think that you do have the advantage of being Rakdos, and Rakdos, their two favorite things to do are kill people and have sex, which is what every D&D audience wants to see. So fair.
That's a Tyler the Creator song, right? That's people have sex, fuck school.
Yeah.
Don't say the F word in chat.
Oh, yeah, don't say that. Sorry, guys.
That's right.
No, you don't have to say sorry.
We're fine. You can't say it. Yeah. I don't think you can even say vinegar in chat. So Tack, You finish explaining to Tybalt pretty much everything there is to know. And like I was saying before, the questions that Tybalt asks you about Ravnica are the kinds of questions a person in kindergarten would ask. Like, oh, why does that exist? Why is this like that? Why does this happen? And like, so you get a lot of these. It's clear that Tybalt is very curious, but yeah, ignorant about stuff that is basic even for the youngest citizen of the city. But in the midst of that conversation, you hear the sound of guards approaching.
Before we get to the guards, I just want to make it very clear that you and I have very different ideas about what you tell a kindergartner when they ask you basic questions about the world.
Yeah, well, so that's the question. Like, what are your answers?
Yeah, think about what TK would say and then apply neutral evil to it. And that is what Tack would say.
So are you actively misinforming Tybalt about things?
Yes, of course I am.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, well, Tybalt's...
Ma'am, you need toilet paper and it's urgent? Yes, it's in gardening.
Right. Yeah, so Tybalt is... he's canny, but I don't know if he's that smart. So he's a bit of a himbo. So let's have you roll deception.
My favorite.
Yeah, roll deception, and we'll see if you can.
No.
See if you can deceive Tybalt.
Fucking Rourke.
Oh no. Okay, you rolled a 1. Good. That's fantastic. So.
Frankly, I deserve it.
Well, let's say this. So, Tack, you think you're doing a great job lying to this person, and Tybalt is nodding and pretending and playing along with the lies, right? Is like, oh, that's interesting. And then if I do this, then what would happen, right? And these guys don't like those guys, but Tybalt understands this is all bullshit, but is getting an understanding of Tack as a person more than Ravnica. So instead of reading like factual or geographic information, you are just accidentally letting Tybalt know everything about who you are as a person.
Tack rolled a 4 to deceive Tybalt and a 22 to deceive themselves.
Perfect. Yeah. So in the midst of this, which is going great, by the way, you think you've got this guy wrapped around your little finger.
Oh.
That's when you hear the guards coming, and they stop outside the field, and one of them says, "You, goblin, approach the field." And
wow,
Tybalt,
I have a name. Okay.
Tybalt whispers, "Better do what they say."
You're not my dad, and I'll do it because I want to. Tybalt resists the urge to say, "Yeah, but I could be."
I knew we were going there the second.
So
you are out of control right now.
If anyone says "Daddy," I quit the show. I will say that right now.
Oh,
I'm holding up this own card, but I've also had enough of you shit, Adam.
So the funny thing is, and for folks who know this character, especially their most recent incarnation, Magic, Tybalt has a special ability of conjuring imps. Tybalt has a real fondness for small 1/1 creatures that have bad habits and like to destroy stuff. So you're very much Tybalt's type. but we'll get there when we get there. So
Tibble's
yeah,
my type too.
Right?
No.
so he's like, yeah, you better
Adam knows.
you better go and do what they say. They sound dangerous. And and slowly uncurls his tail off of your shoulder. And so the guards are standing there, and they're typical Is It nerds in that they're acting tough and they're covered in weird gear, but they're pretty much just like steampunk stormtroopers.
Nerds.
Yeah. So yeah, do you come up to the field?
Yeah, I'll go up to these nerds wearing trash can armor.
Okay. Yeah. So you approach. One of them says, I don't know what it is you did, and I don't know who you are, but you're important because the Perun wants to see you.
I don't know what that is.
And they look at each other and they kind of roll their eyes like, oh, God, typical. And so the guard closest to the switch says, I'm going to open the field. Either of you cause any trouble, and we'll flood your cell with cold. You'll be frozen in a minute. All right? You understand?
Are you going to carry me to the Perun then?
I think they kind of look at each other like, no, the point is that you don't, so we don't have to.
I just don't see a wheelbarrow, so I just didn't know how you
Step
get
back,
there.
prisoner.
Okay.
And so one of them reaches up and pulls the switch, and it doesn't turn the field off completely, but it reduces the field's intensity. And the other guard is like, come on.
I want to touch it.
Yeah, you can pass through it now. It's not comfortable. It still like stings a little, but you can walk through it at this power level.
I want to walk through it back and forth like twice.
Like, okay. Yeah, Tibble chuckles from the other side of the cell as you pass through it. And then
balm of my soul.
they turn the intensity back up, and Tibble puts his hands up. He's like, what about me? Can I come too? And the other one points and he's like, you stay there. And he just shrugs like, I got nowhere else to go. And so the guards, one of them takes out a set of shackles, which of course have like brass gears on them and dials and what have you. So they take them out and put them on you. So they shackle your hands in front of you, and then kind of give you a little shove, like, come on, let's go.
I would like to walk and make a show of like trying to put my hands all around and stuff and make as much noise as possible to distract them while I look around.
Yeah. Okay. So this isn't really like a prison, because technically prisoners, like the guilds aren't supposed to hold prisoners. If they've broken some kind of significant guild law, you're supposed to turn them over to the Azorius and they have a trial and whatever. So this is really more of like a holding cell or a brig for people that will eventually be transferred.
Am I going to see like the copy machine that they moved out of the closet to lock us in?
Lock those two up in the supply closet. But sir, the supply closet's full of paper. Move the paper then. Yeah.
It's like a ton of like Post-it notes, paper clips.
Yeah, exactly. So you're led through this hallway towards a like a central kind of elevator hub. And down here there is it's a big circular room with a column, a big metal and glass column in the middle with a series. It's kind of like like the cylinder of a revolver. So there's all of these elevators, multiple elevators kind of coming and going, but down here there's none, right? And so there's a desk sitting next to the entrance, and there's a guy sitting at the desk who looks very, very bored, who gives the guys a nod as they walk by. And yeah, as you walk by, you get a pretty good look at the place. There are doors all around this room that lead off to other storage areas. You've been brought down into a sub-level, and you're pretty sure there's got to be an entrance to the Golgari Underground around here somewhere. Right. Like
awesome.
You're very low below Nivix. And so you get up to the elevator door, and the two of the guards look at each other and they look at you, and one of them asks the question that it's clear he's been wanting to ask ever since they picked you up, but it's been driving him crazy. And he finally is just like, what makes you so special? You get to see the Perun. Huh?
Feeling a little jealous?
He just like scowls.
You don't get to see the Perun whenever you want?
The Perun's a very busy entity.
Oh,
especially
too busy
now.
for you.
Like scowls. grumbles.
It's okay. I'll tell your daddy you said hi.
The other guard looks at that guard like, I told you shouldn't have asked. And the other guard is just like fuming a little. And the door opens.
Cry.
The door to the elevator opens, but it's not empty. You look ahead of you, and in the elevator, you see a familiar figure. He has black hair that's like greased back with a gray streak in it. He's wearing his fancy outfit. You see Raul Zarek standing in the elevator, and
You're gonna say the dragon was
yeah, he's just jammed in the elevator. Hey, what's up, guys? Because Niv-Mizzet is huge. There's no way he could fit into.
It's so funny.
It is pretty good. Yeah, like.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I've had like too much sugar or something today.
Hey, we're gonna have this meeting in the elevator. No, you see Raul, and he says to the guards, he's like, well, they salute, right? Because he's a big deal, and they salute him, and he's like, I'll take it from here, boys. And they look at each other, and they're like, we have direct orders to take the prisoner straight to the Perun. And Raul's like, yeah, I get my orders from the same dragon, all right? So turn this one over to me and go back to whatever it is you were doing. And Raul looks at you like real quick, like kind of a like, don't worry about it, I got this glance.
I don't think that Tack has ever had like serious what is the word I'm looking for? Interaction. I almost said intercourse. Interaction with Raul Zarek. So Attack's just like, wow, all Izzets are awkward nerds.
That is true. Yep.
Every single one.
I think the only time you've ever seen this guy is when Winnegar was pretending to be him.
Yeah. Yeah. So
maybe
Tack's just
wait a second.
Like
wait a second then. Tack,
handcuffs.
do you think that this is Winnegar in disguise?
Honestly, Tack is prepared for everybody to be Winnegar in disguise. So I'm gonna say yes. I would like to fail it and say
because you get that look like play it cool. I got you. We're gonna get you like So
Okay, buddy.
yeah. Exactly. You've also seen this guy having a meeting with Jace too. So who knows? But yeah, there's
he was a nerd there too. So
yeah, that's true. There's a moment where the guards look like they're gonna talk back, but then they think better of it, and he takes the control of the prisoner, and he's like, yeah, you turn them over to me, and the guards kind of look at each other and they're like, this goes wrong, like we're gonna be upset about it, but there's nothing they can do, and Raul says like, come on, and gestures for you to come step into the elevator.
Yeah. Tack's like arms are all twisted up in there.
You got the chain wrapped around your neck.
Around. Yeah, and I guess Tack just goes into the elevator like
Nothing else going on.
Okay, yeah. So you get in the elevator and the door closes, and it immediately starts heading up the tube. These elevators are basically just big pneumatic tubes. So it starts heading up the tube, and before you can get where you're going, Raul reaches over and hits the stop button. So everything comes to a halt. And he looks at you and he says, I need you to tell me what you were doing in the pyrology department. You and your friends. Now think very carefully before you lie to me.
Do you have something like to actually threaten me with, or do I have to use my imagination?
He looks around and he's like, do you not know who I am?
Well, Zarek.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
And he blinks in surprise and he shakes his head and he's like, I'm Raul freaking Zarek. What do you mean do I have anything to threaten you with? I could turn you inside out with a thought. What do you...
Okay, but you didn't.
And he nods and he's like, yeah, because, and he kneels down to get at eye level with you. And he's like, it's because I want you and I to be friends, Tack.
Okay, but what you're telling me is that you could turn me inside out and that, like, you didn't because I have something that you want to know about. So as soon as I tell you that thing, then maybe you'll turn me inside out. So I don't really have a lot of incentive to tell you.
And you can see him like turning a little bit red with like frustration, and partway through that he grabs you by the shoulders and shakes you once like hard, and he's like, "Listen to me, you little fuck. I need answers, and I need them right now."
Honestly, I'm kind of into this.
And that frustrates him. Right? He stands up and he takes his hands off you and he puts them up like, just listen, I think that you and I might be on the same side here. Cool. And I just need you to tell me what you were doing in Pyrology with that junk man and your friends.
Yeah. Junk man.
And he nods and says, we do not have time for you to fuck me around like this.
I don't know.
I know you know who I'm talking about.
Okay, well, I don't know. It's just we're kind of in a stopped elevator, so it kind of feels like we have all the time in the world. I mean, what is time really?
I love how annoying you're being right now.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to get straight answers from a toddler?
Right, exactly. Like you're playing this exactly right, because he's like, I'm Ralzeric, I'm a big deal, do what I want, and you're just like, I've never heard of you.
Yes,
you're making him very mad, which is putting him off balance.
You're not my
dad?
Right?
Yeah.
You can't spank me here. Like, really, like, okay, thanks for taking me to the grocery store and buying me a candy bar, but like, that doesn't make you my dad, Ron. Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. So you can see you're clearly you're twisting the screws on him. It's working. It's working perfectly. Like, you being annoying is totally pushing him off balance. And in his frustration, like, he runs his hands through his hair and he's like,
what do I get?
What do you mean, what do you get? You get to not have to go before the big mind-reading dragon who's going to turn your brain upside down and shake it loose for all the answers. I know that there are things in that big melon-shaped noggin of yours you don't want getting out, and I'm not trying to take them. I just want you to give me some answers so that I can get the project back in order before everything just goes to shit.
God, I just feel like I have a really good bargaining position right now. I feel like you could do a little something more than that.
I can get you out of here. I can return you to whatever you were doing before. What do you mean, just you?
What about my friend?
Your friend?
Yeah, in the cell.
Oh, him.
Yeah, we're like BFFs.
Make a persuade check, and you can have advantage because you're playing this guy like I'm
emotionally wearing him down.
You're really getting to him. Nice. You didn't even need it. You have 15. Okay. So you can see him thinking it over, and you watch the look on his face as he goes like, I want to say no. I want to drag this out. I know I have the influence and the power to be in charge of this situation, but he's just, everything is, you can see the desperation, right? Everything's kind of coming apart for him. So he's like, fine. If you cooperate, you and your friend, I'll let you go. Okay?
Pinky swear.
What? I'm not touching you.
Okay, well, that's fine, I guess. Don't want to cooperate with a lowly Golgari goblin. I understand.
God. And so he looks at you and he like takes his glove off. And he like
the Ralzeric fucking pinky swears.
And he puts his finger out to you like, oh God.
I think Tech like considers biting it.
I was about to say, is this the part where you try to bite Ralzeric's finger off?
I think Tech makes like a show after the pinky swear of like pretending to bite it. Just go like,
yeah, he pulls back like, ah. So yeah, after he does it, he reaches into a pouch on his belt and he takes out a little container and he squirts something into his hands and he rubs his hands together. And
what's the 20-second song that he sings? He sanitizes his hands.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, here's
the mind killer.
And he says, all right, okay, so we have a deal. You and your friend can go free if you give me some information. What were you doing in Pyrology?
Building a bomb.
So you came here to build it, but they said that they caught you in memory retrieval. Why?
What?
I know it's like it's the absolute wrong person for Ral to get his hands on, right? Like, okay, you've agreed to tell me what you know.
Was sitting here
but-
going like, "What were we doing?"
Getting Rourke's memory
Gonna love
back.
it, yeah.
Like,
So you brought-
I
yeah, you
have
brought
the notes
Rourke.
right in front of me.
Yeah, you brought Rourke here, and I love it again because you're still kind of playing him, right? So the more you dissemble, the more you stumble over it and pretend like, no, I'm just a dumb Golgari. What do I know? The angrier he gets.
Junkman didn't have his memory, so we had to chalk it back into him with lightning.
And he nods and he says the Guildpact does good work, but when he's in a hurry, he can be a little sloppy. I told him it wasn't going to stick. So you restored this Rourke's memories?
Yeah, I think Winnegar did, but I'm not like entirely sure.
Oh, but just say his name.
And he scowls and he says, Winnegar. Who's Winnegar?
The Junkman's friend.
And he nods and he says, and what?
I have an 8 wisdom, Katie May.
And what?
He
What-
pinky promised this isn't going to go bad.
What?
You're right.
What guild?
You're right.
What guild does this Winnegar belong to?
8675309.
I think this is the moment when Tack like looks to the side like, "Ugh."
Celestia.
And he kind of makes a face like that was a very long thinking period to know a basic thing. And he shakes his head. He says, "You know what? It doesn't matter. Okay.
Oh, cool.
So you can. I don't care if you're Demir spies or whatever. We all have to put that shit aside and work together. There is a much bigger threat that we need to deal with." So, you know about the project then?
Yes.
So you came here to sabotage it? I don't understand. Rourke was working on something for me. And then the Azorius tried to get their hands on him. And before I could get there, he was gone. And we couldn't find him. And then you and your friends showed up. You brought him right to us. And then...
And then we tried to get the stuff for the bomb.
Right, but why? What do you need it for?
I don't know. Winnegar said we should get it.
Where can I find this Winnegar?
This worthy adversary.
You're right. Like
He's obviously one step ahead of me.
right, and that's exactly what's happening. We see the thought bubble, and we see like this supervillain version of Winnegar, like petting a cat. Like, good. You'll never catch me, Ralzeric. Right? Like he's absolutely envisioning this. Like, yeah, Winnegar. He's one step ahead of me. He's like, I gotta find this guy.
He's just cut to Winnegar like a
Yeah.
In his underwear, laying on a couch.
upside down on the couch.
Yeah.
Little instrumental version of Mambo number 5, like a music box playing in the back. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. So you can see you've got him in this position where Ral thinks that Winnegar is like as big a deal as he is, or
As Winnegar
you know,
thinks he is.
yeah.
Winnegar just told me he owns the city. Yeah, the tax just like,
That's not really part of the deal. So
And he shakes his head and he says, I can only keep Dovin Ban at bay for so long. You understand? So when I let you go, I need you to tell this Winnegar of yours that it's very important that I meet with him. Do you understand?
yeah.
Good. You need to know that this is bigger than the guilds. This is more important than whatever you think is going on. What I've uncovered is a threat to all of Ravnica. And everyone is going to need to work together if we're going to prevent it. So tell Winnegar, Ralzeric needs to talk to him. I'm trusting you with this. All right?
Okay.
And you can see that Ral is clearly in a dangerous position when he's relying on someone like Tack to deliver an important message for him. And he doesn't know that you like saw him and Jace talking. Like, you know way more about him than he knows about you.
That's true.
Yeah. So he says to you, so you were going to steal the parts and finish Rourke's work? Dispose of the device?
I'm kind of just a bad guy.
Wrong. Sorry.
A bag guy.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, bag guy. Like,
Yeah, like you carry the bag.
roll
You don't
all
know
the
what's in
cash
it.
into
Yeah,
the bag.
you're just the driver. Yeah.
I'm not really like an analytical mind.
Tax says as like their handcuffed hand is like under one leg.
You know, you have it like you're all twisted up. And
Like a little
he looks
pretzel.
down and he says, I can see that. Fine. All I need is a messenger. Just take this information, go and find your boss, and tell him that I need to speak with him. But
Ooh,
he looks around.
where's my boss?
But not
Okay.
here. It's too dangerous. Niv has eyes everywhere. So I know of a place. There's a carnarium in Precinct 4, abandoned. I've used it for meetings before. And he tells you the address, which you've been there. You saw him.
Yeah.
It's the same place where you saw him and that hot lady.
Tax
Just like, oh, the one off of 4th Street between Gore and Knucklebone. Oh, yeah, no, I've never been there, but I hear it's nice.
And he nods and he kind of makes a face like, how do you know? That doesn't matter. And he says, I'll be there. He looks at his gauntlet and all the dials and stuff. He's like, 6 hours from now. All right. I have a very narrow window to get this done. The storm is brewing. I'm going to tell Niv Mizzet that you escaped, and he's going to be mad and he's going to send people after you, but you know how to stay hidden. He'll forget very quickly. I'll handle the dragon. You go and find your boss, find Winnegar, tell him to meet with me, all right?
It's just like a nonstop Miyazaki shiver.
Yeah.
It's like stepping on a cat's tail.
Yeah. So he hits the button on the elevator and it jostles again and it stops on a maintenance level, right? You're at like the 32nd and a half floor or whatever, right? It's a maintenance level. You're still underground. You're still one of the sub basements, and it opens and you see a long, dark, unused hallway. It's almost like it's a half hall, so it's like he would have to crouch, but it's perfect goblin height. And you already see that there's a Golgari marking on the floor that he wouldn't recognize. Nice. So you stop in this hallway and he gestures and he says, wait, before you go. And he takes the handcuffs off of you, right? He disables them, takes them off, and he kneels down and you see him make a painful decision. He points at his face and he's like, I want you to hit me. So it looks real.
like hands on his face. Yes,
Yes.
I will do this.
Like
for you.
Tax just like puts both like little gnarled goblin hands and like strokes his cheeks with like those cracked nails. Is just like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
And then what do? Do you just like punch him? You headbutt him? Like
I absolutely fucking headbutt him.
Nice. Okay.
Just like my forehead right in this bridge of the nose.
Yeah. All right.
Eyes.
Yeah. So you slam your forehead into his face. Ralph falls over backwards, grabs his face. He's like, ow, fuck.
Oh, you were supposed to fall asleep after that one. Let me just
And he puts his hands up. No, stop. Okay, that's plenty convincing enough. Use the tunnel. Get into the underground. Get out of here. I'm going to go let your friend out.
Okay.
Ow.
you should rough him up too a couple times. Make that look real.
and I'll watch from right here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
kink into this.
Yeah, and then Tack's just like, bye.
Yeah. So the door closes to the sound of Ral being like, ow, that really hurt. And like he's holding back tears until the door closes.
I want to like listen for like that sniffle.
Yeah, you hear that sound that people make when they're trying really hard not to cry, and then they have to inhale, and he kind of makes this awkward like hiccuping sound. Yeah, and then the elevator disappears, and and you're in this semi-abandoned tunnel, free to go where you please.
So good.
Yeah, where do you want to go?
Having the best day of their life.
I know, right?
am.
Tack is living
Living my best life.
large.
Everything's coming up, Tack.
Yeah, I mean, you've been rolling really well whenever it matters. So, yeah. Okay, so you slip away, and you can think on where you want to go. We'll cut back to, I guess, like all of this time, everybody's sort of synced up, right? Like Winnegar, you've had time to rest. Road and Torgor, and I guess Tack, you were in prison for long enough that everybody consider you've taken a long rest, right? So you recover all your stuff, get all your hit points back. And so 8 hours have passed. Winnegar, you are starting to wake up. You can hear the sounds of the awkward mixed sounds of karaoke from the various rooms. It seems like the host is having a pretty good day business wise. You can hear orders being called in the kitchen and the sound of business going on outside. And you wake up on this awkward couch in your underwear. And Road and Torgor, you finished a work day and are on your way back. No, Road, when you leave the Azorius, when you leave the Senate headquarters, do you go back to your house? Do you go back to the host?
30 minutes of hot yoga.
Okay. Nice.
It's the 30 minutes of hot yoga that I always have on Mondays. And then I tell my book club that I'm feeling under the weather and that I won't be there for tonight's meeting. And then, I go change out of my frickin' pantsuit and then I head to the host in the shell.
Well, the thing is, like, Road, being a 7th level monk and a 2nd level rogue, you'd actually be fucking awesome at yoga. Like, you're better than everyone in the class, and you have to be worse at it to make it seem less suspicious.
Well, that's what makes it a workout, right? Being bad
right.
at it.
Exactly. Yeah. Trying to fail. Yeah. Perfect.
Yes. So I'm in fucking just shitty like athleisure, like Lululemon, like awful.
Oh,
Yep,
you know that the Selesnians have like an athleisure brand that is like made out of organic cotton that they harvested from a tree that gave permission first, and like
bamboo.
Oh,
It's made out of bamboo.
Good.
It'd have to be something renewable that wouldn't require cutting down a plant, right? It would just be like, we made this out of freaking seed pods we found on the ground.
Yes, and it's just so expensive. It's
extremely.
So expensive.
700 Xenos for a pair of pants. So you're gonna head back to the host after work. Okay. And Torgor, do you want to do anything between your dinner date? Because like I said, like we said before, Judith said it pretty late. So you have a few hours after your writers kind of get burned out and decide they need to go and drink. So you have a few hours between now and your dinner with Judith. What do you want to do with that time?
Take a shower and pick up some black roses, and that's about it.
Okay. All right.
You all roll your eyes, but at least it's classy, Katie May. All right.
So I think then you at some point you get there's a messenger that comes to you during, or maybe right at the end of your workshop or your meeting, and the messenger brings you a package. It's a brown paper package, and it's got a card on it. And I think the card, if you open it, it has an address within Rix Mahdi. Like it's like column 4, 12 o'clock. There's an address here, and it says written in it under that in very nice cursive it says I don't want you to have to leave Rix Mahdi to go home. A gift. And then a little heart and Judith, big sweepy J on it. And there's keys in the package, basically. So she just gave you an apartment in Rixmati.
Oh God, good. Because there was a concern that I just got offered to move in, and that's like Torgo's like, that's so fast, and that's a different type of ledge to stand on the edge of, and okay.
It would be so much easier for her to kill you if you lived together.
Oh, she knows where I'm sleeping now. Perfect.
Yeah, well, that was the idea, right? Is she's like, I want you close to me.
Yeah, the apartment is just a sex dungeon. Like, I don't understand.
The apartment is like a mother-in-law red room.
Here's the other thing. There was the envelope, right, which had the keys and the note, and then there's the package that was with it as well. So I don't know. Do you open that now or do you wait?
I change in my apartment, I think.
Yeah, you want to go to your apartment and then open it up? Okay, all right. So the apartment is it's very lavish, right? Like the interior is all like dark stained wood and then like black and red like leather. It's a very expensive couch. All the furniture is very nice. There's this big like wooden like cross thing that you think is like a piece of modern art, maybe. You just see it in the back of one of the rooms.
Would you define the furniture as ergonomic?
Yeah, I would, in fact. But it's nice. It's definitely like it's a very expensive looking apartment.
And the sacrifice district of Rixmati as well. My goodness.
Yeah, it's got a view of the fire pits.
Yeah.
So you come into this apartment and kind of look around and set your keys down on the marble countertop. Mm-hmm. If you open the package, at first it looks like just like a lot of belts. Like she just sent you a lot of belts. But then you realize they're all kind of like hooked together in this complex web of belts and metal rings, and
I'm no magician, so I don't know. Cosplay.
You have to come to the host from the shell to ask us to help you put it on.
I think I do. I think I really like Torgor has no idea.
It's just Lulu from Final Fantasy.
Yeah. So yeah.
Is there any instructions?
There are not. I think probably part of the test. Part of the test is, can you figure out how to put it on?
All right. Well, let's see what
acrobatics or I don't know.
Investigation.
Investigation also.
Yeah.
Survival.
That's for later.
Survival's tonight.
Yeah.
I'll make a investigation roll. It's a flat 0. Let's see how bad could it be.
Religion. This is
11,
like
so better than average.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's you have a functional understanding of how you
these are the armholes. I got that. And then these are the leg holes.
Yeah, like I think my head goes and then there's the thing that goes over my horns.
That's I think I get it on, but I get it on like where it's backwards. So I'm like in it, but it's just in reverse.
Now roll a deception to make everybody think you meant to do it.
So
don't say it. Don't say
I'll just leave it to everyone's imagination what that looks like.
This is right. This seems right. Yeah, I think so.
Seems good. I think if I put my one leg through okay, good. Yeah, perfect.
Just look for the spot where don't minotaurs have tails?
I don't actually think that they do in D&D. I don't think minotaurs have tails. Yeah, because you need them for a cow's tail is just for swatting flies, right? Basically, it's not. They don't use it for balance or anything.
This is true.
Yeah, I don't think that they do. I'm not sure. Yeah, but definitely, trying to base it based on what's supposed to cover what and where the zippers go and the class. You think there's a lot of. It's very complex, but you have a pretty good idea of how you put it on. But do you go back to the host wearing it or
no? Because I'm meeting her this evening, right?
Yeah, it's not till much later. Yeah, you have several hours.
Oh, I have several hours. Okay, then I take it off.
Okay.
And I was just
Howard.
I have enough. There's enough time for me to go to the host and make it back.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you're waylaid, but yeah, you've got about 3 hours.
He would know.
Okay, cool. Then I'll head over there.
Okay.
And I'll
You
bring.
smell like latex and Astroglide.
Oh, I'm bringing it with me. I like Torgor isn't convinced, so he's gonna get second and third and fourth opinions. Yeah.
Perfect.
Tonight at the Host in the Shell.
It's grown-up night at the Host in the
It's
Shell.
grown up now.
So, okay. All right. So you head over there. Then
Yes.
I think, if Torgor takes a little bit of time to try out the outfit and check out his new apartment, and Road, you do hot yoga and skip book club. I think you probably arrive around the same time. And then Tack, are you going to go back to the Host, or where do you go once you have access to the grand fungal network below the city? Because you can go anywhere now with relative ease.
Yeah, I mean, I can go anywhere, but I am going to go back to the hosting club just in case Atrax is able to make it back to the hosting club first. If Atrax is able to go underground, they're going to go back to hosting club anyway. So I'm going to go back to the hosting club to wait for them, see whether or not they were able to get stuff underground, etc.
Yeah. I think probably Atrax will be able to meet you there, right? Because they're fairly small. But the thing we had talked about was that the evidence was the notes that you had were too big for Atrax to like drag around because they're a spider. So yeah, you can meet up with Atrax on your way or once you get there. But those notes are still hidden away in the pyrology department
That's all right.
in that room. Okay, all right. So Winnegar, you are there to greet whoever gets back first. It doesn't really matter to me. But what are you doing when everybody gets back?
Yeah, I think Winnegar is getting up and getting dressed. I think Gary had set out all his clothes very nicely. So
Gary laundered them for you. Really took them and washed them in the same, because you probably have like a washing machine somewhere in here for the like maid uniforms. So
yeah,
okay.
I think, and it looks a little bit different. Just like a little bit different than he's used to, and he's just like, stupid Gary, my clothes, making it all look all. Doesn't even feel the same. Look at this arm; it goes all the way down to this one's so short and this one's so long. Whatever, Gary.
Too clean.
Yeah.
And he just like walks out to see where everyone is and what everyone's doing just to get his bearings.
Yeah. So the Host in the Shell, and I don't think we've been. Usually the time that you're here is like the middle of the goddamn night. So you walk out into the Host in the Shell, and it's actually like it's bumping. Every table is full. People are talking and laughing and drinking tea and eating curry shaped like panda bears. And just like having a really nice time. And there's some music playing, and Gary's at the counter, polishing it, and you can hear the people in the kitchen working, and there's karaoke drifting in from the other room. There's probably like an instrumental version of the theme song for Neon Genesis Evangelion playing. And you walk out into this and you see all these people just sitting and talking, and maybe a couple people look up and then go back to their business. And Gary sees you and gives you a little wave, but also makes a face like, I'd come over and talk to you, but I'm busy right now. I got lots of customers, but nice to see you.
Gary. Yeah, no one cares. Okay. I'm going to peek into some of the rooms, see if Torgor is anywhere. And if I don't see anyone, I'm just going to go like sit outside for like a minute and just kind of rub the sleep out. And then also like think about, okay, well, what do I need to do? It's like, no one's here.
So yeah, you go outside and you sit down on what amounts to the stoop of the Host, right? And so you're sitting on the edge of this big shell dome, and there's the various lifts on the sides. And like 99% of the time, Dewdrop is asleep, right? Usually Dewdrop is only awake to move the vessel around. But you notice that when you come out and you close the door, Dewdrop blinks their big watery eyes, like lifts her head real slow and yawns and turns and sees you. And you see yourself reflected in this big, because like, again, it's an entire building, right? It's a multi-story like shop sitting on top of an enormous turtle. And so, yeah, you're about as tall as its eyeball, and it turns to like look at you, and you see your reflection in this big glistening hemisphere.
Hey, whoa, do I look? And he just starts like checking himself in the mirror, like, well, the mirror, the reflection, I guess, not a mirror. Just like, you and me, buddy, right? Does he do anything when I say that?
He like blinks, and then yawns again, and then opens his mouth. And I don't think you've ever heard Dewdrop speak, but
God.
Dewdrop says, "Yep, just you and me, Winnegar."
I didn't even know Dewdrop spoke.
Nobody did.
Dewdrop sentient? What?
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Biggest
The
plot
giant
twist of
turtle
Jace Beleren Must Die.
Is it Morta from Neverending
Yeah,
Story?
Morla or Morta.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morta. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh no.
Yeah. And so when you sort of boggle at that, right? You're like, oh wow. Dewdrop says, looks like it's gonna rain a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's always raining here, buddy. You've probably seen some things, huh? And like he's putting on his gloves. He's just still,
He nods and he says, lots of customers today.
Yeah. I was actually talking more in life. Like you've probably been around for like a long. Do you remember being small? Were you ever small? How small were you?
Long memory. Hard to remember. I guess I must have been.
Yeah. Do you have friends? Like,
And he nods and he says, well, of course. I got you and
Yeah.
Torgor and
Well,
Tack and Rode and
Yeah.
Gary.
well, yeah. I mean, like friends your size.
He chuckles. Not too many things my size out there.
Yeah. I feel like that sometimes too. But in here.
And
He
he,
points to his head.
and he nods and he says, thinking's a dangerous habit.
Yeah. Gets me in trouble a lot.
You should do what I do. Sleep more.
Oh God, that was so nice. Yeah. I mean, if I could sleep more, maybe I wouldn't. I've been passing on a lot of things lately, Dewdrop. You ever just give up on some stuff? Like I feel like I had like all these reasons to do things, and then all of a sudden I just started not doing them. And here's the thing, nothing happens. Like you could just not do things all the time, things that you think are inherently right and good and should be the cornerstone of your entire life. And you can just stop doing it and nothing happens.
I think Rode is here and like holding an umbrella, but is like but is like off in the distance, like watching Winnegar talk to this turtle, being like, "What?"
The real like thing would be if Winnegar was just talking to himself and Dewdrop was still asleep. Like, yeah, Winnegar's gone crazy. No, so you see Winnegar sitting outside, and do you step out, Rode? Like, do you make yourself known, or do you just watch from under your little
I'm
parasol?
eavesdropping.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Dewdrop says, yeah, it's like that, isn't it? Everybody thinks that all that matters is having a purpose in your life, but I don't know. I just like sleeping and listening to everyone having a nice time.
Yeah, I wish it was that easy, Dewdrop. I wish all I had to do was just sleep and enjoy the fun.
Well, maybe when you're older.
And he just like leans back a little bit and just like, maybe I'll take a note from Dewdrop here and just chill out.
Yeah, and Dewdrop yawns one more time, and as he does, he sort of settles his head back down on the ground. He's got a nice little like depression in the street surface. He kind of like settles his head back down, closes his eyes, and when he lowers his head, that's when you see Rhodes standing, looking up at you, holding the umbrella.
Hey, Rode, what's going on?
Just coming back from hot yoga. How are you, Winnegar?
pretty good. Just being super chill like I always am. Chill, that is.
Yes. You are always chill. Have you eaten today?
No. If it happens, it happens. I'm just being chill today. I'm diligently being chill today.
I'm trying really hard. Okay, you guys, I'm stressing out about being chill. I need you to help me. I need to be chill for at least another 3 hours.
All right, let's go inside and eat, bud, and then we'll be chill inside. It's raining out.
Right on. I'll go with the flow. And then like he goes inside.
Okay. All right. So you head inside, and eventually Torgor and Tak, kind of in your own time, you arrive. Find the host Nichelle busy. Everyone excited. Gary is as happy to see you as he was the first time, and tells you, yeah, Road and Winnegar, they're in the back. Go on in. And and eventually we have all four of you back in the secret lair. So I guess the question here is like, how much information do you give each other about what's been going on, right? Because the last time you were all together, you had to split up to get away safely. So does anybody keep anything hidden? Mostly I'm thinking of Tak. Like, yeah, how much information gets spread around here during this reunion?
Who's in the karaoke room when Tak gets in there?
I think probably since you're the furthest away, Tak, you would get there last.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to bring in like a huge tray of cupcakes.
Nice. Okay. All right.
Chills running over my
Yeah,
face.
let's start there then. So yeah, Tak comes in with like one of those big industrial grade baking sheet like size covered in cupcakes.
100, and they're holding it like over their heads so they can't really like see where the cupcakes are going. It's very precarious.
Mm-hmm.
Tak.
And they like come into the karaoke room. Hey,
Wait.
Tak.
You got Torbor's back is like just and I think this is the front and that's the back.
Okay.
No, Tak, no.
Tak.
I don't.
Tak.
What?
Look how clean
Put
this
it-
place is.
What?
Put it down. Don't drop it.
Gently,
I catch
gently,
it.
gently,
I catch
gently.
it. I catch it. I gotta catch it.
But they're triple chocolate and they have raspberry filling.
Okay, then put it on the coffee table. Gently place it on the coffee table.
You slowly place it down. Mm-hmm.
Do you see how clean this room is?
Tak immediately looks at the ceiling.
Yeah, it's remarkably clean.
Yes.
Where
Exactly.
are my crunchy cakes?
They were not your crunchy cakes. They became our crunchy cakes.
You ate them?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's cool. That's fine. What'd you guys
No
do
more.
today?
Torgor is just in this leather.
Yeah, so
one
I guess
piece.
that's the question. Like, Torgor, are you trying on your weird harness for
I
them?
think
or-
there was like a moment where I'm like stepping into it right when Tak arrives, and so it's like pulling it up over my like boxers, which also makes it just like more comical to like.
It's worse.
Yeah.
It's the modesty boxers.
They actually never nude jean shorts.
Yeah, nice,
It's another
nice.
thing you don't know about Torgor.
I feel like when we inevitably do the sexy people of Ravnica calendar, Torgor's is definitely going to be a jorts pose for sure.
Hands down.
Are you sure you don't have it on backwards?
I don't know. Okay,
Are you sure you don't?
let's
have
try. Flip it around, and I'm like, okay, actually, this is a lot.
It's much more comfortable.
It's not much, but it is a lot more.
Yeah, because then the way now these metal rings are around your nipples, and that's why it. Yeah.
I thought they were like back scratchers. I see. That
No.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need to check the break art for a second. Does Torgor? We can't see Torgor's nipples in the art. Shit. I just wanted to check and see if you had them pierced, but
I'm gonna leave that up to chat to decide what
Nice,
they imagine though.
Hell yeah, chat.
I hate this. I don't know if chat can put nipples in chat.
yeah, that might be a forbidden word.
I don't think they can.
We'll know.
We'll find out.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, anyways, so It's gonna be a pretty good first date. I'm gonna basically have an audience with Rakdos through like outside of it. No, not bad.
All right. I hope you have fun.
Yeah. And you went to yoga today? Wow.
Yep. Winnegar, how was your nap?
It was super chill. I just, dreamed. Then I got up, hung out. I don't know. I'm just taking this laid back attitude right now. Just like
Great.
He does this thing with his hands that's just like chill.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this is new vinegar, new cool vinegar,
Yeah, this is new cool vinegar.
menthol vinegar.
Neutral cool.
Neutral.
Tack,
Cool.
how was your time in the underground?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tack's been like licking the icing off of all of the cupcakes and putting it back.
Oh, gross.
I grabbed a cupcake before Tack.
Yes.
did that.
Me too.
So like half the cupcakes are just covered in goblin drool now.
Good.
Just glazed with a thin layer of slime.
Take my crunchy cupcakes, will you? Well, if you don't like
Yeah.
crunchy cupcakes, maybe you like sticky cupcakes.
And Tack's just like the whole icing. And it's like,
Spend the night in jail.
What?
Made a boyfriend, I think. I don't know. He's probably dead now. It happens. Told Rouse Eric about a bomb or whatever. He wants to see Winnegar for a date or something.
What?
I found out that they actually closed the kiosk that sells all of the grubs. One of my favorite places. Totally gone now. Sorry about that, Torgor. Slept in a dryer.
Okay, none of this is relevant
Run it back.
anymore. Run it
Run
back.
it
Let's replay that list.
The grubs.
Nope.
The one before the grubs.
Spend a night in jail.
After that.
Start there. Which jail?
Is it jail?
You were arrested by the Is It?
yeah, Tack looks over at Winnegar and goes like,
Thumbs up, buddy. It's actually really comfortable.
Okay.
Okay.
And why are you here now instead of still in jail?
No, it's fine. You guys prefer me in jail? I'll just
No, it's not that
go
we
put
have no-
myself back in jail. No,
How did
it's
you
cool.
get
worried
out?
It's
about
cool.
you?
None of you
You
guys
were-
were wondering why Winnegar wasn't in jail, but you're
I
like,
was actually
why
wondering
is Tack
that
out of jail?
because
That's
come on.
weird.
I
Tack,
thought
don't act
that
like
if
it's
anyone's
weird.
gonna make
Who's
it out of
been in
the
jail?
Is It,
Has
you know,
Winnegar
you think
ever
it's
been
gonna
in jail?
be
No.
it's gonna
So-
be Tack, but
so
how can
Winnegar-
I don't know.
Winnegar make
Maybe
it out?
Winnegar has been in jail. We don't know his life. He's got
You
some
have the
weird
track
tattoos.
record of going to jail and getting out of jail. It's not a crazy question to ask. How did you break out
is it
this time?
unfair for us to assume that you would try to get arrested only to feel the thrill of breaking out?
No,
You guys
I've
are all
done that.
real hot and bothered. And it'd be good if you got some ice and chilled out.
I do the thing where I put my hands on my knees and I look at Winnegar and I was like, I don't know if you were listening to Tack, but Tack did just say that Rouse Eric knows your name and would like to meet with you. So I need you to snap out or dewdrop put you in, all right? And then I look back at Tack.
Now-
when you look back at Tack, Tack is like got their finger in the cupcake, is like scooping the filling out.
Wait,
No, yeah. So
Albus?
Winnegar, in any other
Albus?
circumstance, for any other member of the Is It League, being told Rouse Eric wants to meet with you is like a massive opportunity, right? It's like, wow, he wants to meet with me. Like he's the CTO. He's a big deal. But also the other part.
so yeah, I think he has that twinge of like, oh my God. But that's the old me. That's not who I am now. But he still wants to know more.
Yeah.
If it comes out that it's a chill way to meet Ral, like that would be really chill and
Say
cool.
chill again. Say chill again.
And it's not going to be chill, all right? Clearly, Raul wants you, and this is the only way to get a hold of you. It's not going to be a chill meeting.
Yeah, but
I want
if
to
you,
eat. I want to eat the icing off of Rhodes' cupcake while she's having this lecture with him. Okay, time back in.
if it,
I don't notice.
Okay.
it could be chill. I mean, who knows? I mean, if he comes to hang out, then that's cool. If not, whatevs.
I need your self-preservation instinct to kick back in.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. You want me to ask some questions? I'll ask some questions.
Wait, where's all the materials?
That's the one I was gonna do. It's so hard.
It's super weird. Turns out that when you get arrested, they take all your stuff from you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they
But I
probably
still
did
have
that.
the shopping list.
Do we need the shopping
in the
list,
building?
guys?
Do we need
Do we need the shopping list?
Maybe we don't if you can talk to Ral and figure out what it was even for in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, Raul already thinks you're Demir, so it works out.
What?
Just got to be sneaky.
What? Me? What?
Why does
No.
Ral think that we're Demir?
I didn't tell him about you guys.
Sorry, I assumed.
God,
Why
they're
does Ral
worst at
think?
this. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
Yeah.
they're so bad at this.
Hey, sometimes you have to
They're
play
so
to your
bad at
wisdom.
this.
All right.
Yeah.
It's called good role play.
It's called I have innate wisdom and Terrell can't be trusted. I'm sorry.
Sorry that my 14 wisdom is having to carry this party.
So Ral heard about me through you and
Yeah.
not through like any of the cool things I've done, or he heard about it secondhand. What did you tell him about me?
Can you just walk through the whole conversation that you had with the Rouse Eric?
This guy sucks. Okay, Tak's going to relay the entire conversation with some caveats.
Yes.
Number one, Ral want to hang out in an elevator with them. They almost made out. Number two, Tak
I
got to
believe
beat the shit out of Ral.
Is that a caveat or
Yeah.
An addendum?
Yeah, caveat is Latin for bullshit, I think. So, yeah.
I don't know big words. I only write for a living. Leave me alone. I don't know how to make the words go. Okay,
Who
with
does?
some additions. So they almost made out in an elevator. Tak got to headbutt Ral. It was awesome, and he cried like a baby.
Nice.
Tak has a new boyfriend, or maybe not. I don't know if they're dead. They touched a lightning wall. Ral thinks that Winnegar is Demir and also our boss. Or yeah.
Yep.
Ral thinks Winnegar's our boss. Oh god, I don't know if maybe like a really there's this ritual I have where I like to think and I just can't. Maybe if I could just do that ritual, I would be able to really remember.
Looking
I'm
pointedly
not
at the
letting you
ceiling.
throw cupcakes at the ceiling, Tak.
And maybe I just don't remember. God, what a pickle.
How many cupcakes would it take?
Probably 3
Give
Two.
me
to
one.
start.
2.
Tak takes 2 cupcakes and weighs them in their hands very dramatically and just whoop, both at the same time. And how long does it take for them to fall back down?
I guess it depends on how hard you throw them.
I'll roll acrobatics. It's okay.
Okay.
I want to finesse this.
Okay. Not
Okay, I
bad.
got
Jesus.
17.
17.
Yeah, so they're just look at it. They're like, yeah, that's a good hug cake.
Yeah, so there's two wet splattering sounds as the cupcakes adhere themselves to the ceiling.
It's the triple chocolate kind, so you know it's going to stain.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It'll be up there for a while.
Nice.
The room falls silent as Tak stares at the ceiling.
Yeah, my computer didn't freeze. I'm just
Yeah.
staring at the imaginary cupcakes.
My computer didn't freeze. I'm just being obstinate.
Yeah.
So
Let
me get this straight. Ral Zarek believes he knows my name and not only thinks I'm your boss, but also
Our
thinks I'm
boss.
our boss. Okay, our boss, but also Demir. So
Yeah.
gotta say, not very chill.
Okay, so I need you to pause your crisis because I need to receive my end of the cupcake throwing bargain. What were you going to say? Tack.
I'm sufficiently intimidated. So yeah, Tack goes into like the, all right, well, we're in the elevator and he's like, oh, tell me everything you know. And I was like, nah. And he was like, I'll go make you meet a dragon. I was like, you're gonna make me do that anyway, so nah. And then he was like, why were your friends in the memory whatever room? And we were like, I don't know, electricity. And then he was like, I'll get you out of jail. And I was like, cool. And we pinky promised on it. And yeah, Tack like makes eye contact with everyone in the room. Pinky promise. And yeah, and then he, you know, the thing and stuff like that. And then I do relay everything. I just can't remember it right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we get the meeting. And is it like in 20 minutes?
It's pretty. So here's the thing. Yeah, it's soon, and Torgor, it overlaps with your date with Judah.
Guys, I can't be there.
What do you mean you can't be
What do
there?
you mean?
Well, I mean, he really
there.
only wants Winnegar there, so.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm going.
You're gonna not go protect Winnegar to go on a date with a latex woman?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe let's
He said,
plan
"Oh, I
this.
don't
Let's plan
know."
this scenario. I've got an engagement, a meeting with Rakdos. That is the most senior like the Parun for the you know, Rakdos, the name that it's named after.
Right.
If I don't do a good job, I'm gonna die, and also this other woman's gonna die, who's now making sure that she might kill me if I disappoint her in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Well,
Okay,
I don't
but
know why
let's-
you even
You guys
signed
be
up
honest,
for it in
and
the first
let's put a
place.
spin on it. Let's just say we're Demir, and I'm doing a good job at protecting my cover. Then, huh?
Right.
But you're
right.
not Demir, and you don't have a cover, so that doesn't make
So
sense.
that
Doesn't
doesn't
that
matter.
make it funny?
No.
Okay,
it just
so but
makes
then
it,
think about
actually,
this.
it makes it really frustrating.
You could be like 2 hours late for this date that you know, and then you can just do the thing where you do your whole honest eyes bit, and then she'll be fine.
Okay. It doesn't just work like that. It's a
You just
lot.
go,
It's a lot of
go,
the universe aligning
"Hey."
together to make the look attribute more than the soul.
I'm
all
just
right?
I'm just a vulnerable man, and I know how rare those are.
It's okay. Hey. Speaking of which, how's
And then it's fine.
who's Harold? What's your office romance like?
Harold?
All right? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yes, Harold.
I love how quickly, and this is all happening like around Dwiniger, but I love how quickly this went from we're in grave danger and the conspiracy is at risk to let's take petty shots at one another about our romantic choice.
To be honest, they get like this
so good.
literally every time one of them has like a date.
Yeah. Right.
And so
How's your
like,
fake
Tack's just
boyfriend?
like,
I don't know. How's your hot mom? This is what Dungeons and Dragons is about. It's not about Dungeons or Dragons. It's about petty conversations with your friends. Yep.
Wow.
But yeah.
buddy.
Also,
Oh.
I trust you guys.
This is Ral Zarek. I don't think that if he wants us dead, you'd be able to keep us alive, but I think there's a romance in us all dying together when we go meet Ral Zarek.
All right.
But are we actually going to meet Ral Zarek? Is that actually going to happen?
Yes, in 45 minutes. We have 45 minutes to get there.
Oh, really?
45
I have
minutes?
15 minutes before I have to leave then. You'll all be fine. Ral doesn't know anything. He thinks Winnegar is the boss.
He also thinks Winnegar is Demir, and
Right.
that means that he's not gonna be friends. We're not going into a friendly conversation.
Yeah, he hates Winnegar's dad.
Who did you say was Winnegar's dad?
Who did you say was Winnegar's dad?
Who did you tell Ral was Winnegar's dad?
I didn't say it.
Also,
I just
I
love
want to know who my dad is too.
but this is like another joke about Dovinban being when
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhoda's just so frustrated she didn't even get it. She was like, "What do you mean? Did you?"
The everybody is Demir except Tack bit is never-endingly funny to me. The idea of like, and he thinks we're Demir. What a moron, eh? Everybody? What a dummy. That sure wouldn't happen.
Just like standing around in spider emblazoned trench coats.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tack's just like, I guess I'll throw a cupcake at
Let
the
me just take a long drag off of this clove cigarette here.
Yeah. It's like,
Amazing.
We're all in noir, like black and white, except for Tack.
Yeah, it's like I'm hanging out with 3 Noir Spider-Men, and then I'm just like Spider-Ham.
You are definitely Spider-Ham for sure.
Absolutely Spider-Ham.
100%. Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought of John Mulaney voicing Tack for the animated.
Oh yeah.
I hate it.
Yep. So yeah, I mean the question becomes, you have a limited amount of time, and there are two, for Torgor at least, there are 2 important things that are occurring. You could send Winnegar to go and meet Ral alone. That is technically what Ral asked for. Ral was like, go to the Carnarium, meet me there. It could be a huge trap, right? You might walk in and Jace might be there and be like, all right, sucker, you're dead. But it might not, right? Ral doesn't.
Best case scenario, Winnegar dies. And it's none of our fault, obviously.
But Torgor, you have both your career as a fake Rakdos, but as a real playwright, and your relationship. You have your meeting with Rakdos himself, which was the big plan. The whole reason you're doing this, that's contingent on Judith continuing to like you, right?
Yeah.
She in a way, she's being the sort of sleazy producer who's like, oh, you want to meet Rakdos? Well, maybe we should have dinner together and we'll talk about it, right? But also she believes in the project, right? Like if she's putting you in front of Rakdos, then her rep is on the line too. So there is that for you to consider. But if you don't protect Winnegar, he is going into a dangerous situation. Like it's easier, I think, for Road and for Tack, because Tack, you already know where to go and where to hide in this place. You've done it before, right? But yeah, it's just a question, I guess, of like Torgor, like where do you go? Because last I checked, Torgor, Winnegar was your best friend. So
do you care if your best friend possibly dies?
It's a tough torn.
And the best part of all of this is that you're standing here having this conversation in your underwear and a badly adjusted harness situation.
I think Torgor just takes a moment and sort of like, yes, Winnegar is the person he's closest to, but I also think Torgor has seen and witnessed a lot of like Winnegar standing up for himself and doing things on his own, that he's like sort of talking to himself out of the idea that Winnegar needs to be protected, like dissuading those fears, because there's also this like push and desire for, it's for the Demir, it's for the cover, but this is huge. Torgor never thought he would get out of the like wild animal pits and just like being a beast wrangler within the Rakdos for most of his life, to now being valued for his brain and his wit over his like physicality is something that like I think trumps a lot. It's kind of like this idea of like fighting for himself versus protecting Winnegar. There's an interesting thing going on with Torgor right now too, where once you left the guild, you started becoming more famous within it. So it's kind of like those, like the bad rom-com plot where it's like they make a bet to see if they can like seduce it's fucking Dangerous Liaisons, right? Where you're like, but then you actually fall in love with it. So there'll be a point where like maybe you rise to prominence in the Rakdos, and then the Demir demand that you give it all up, right? So like everything is very tense inside Torgor's little personal bubble, which is, I think, part of what's kind of keeping him apart from the other three, in that Torgor is finding success in a mundane life. I mean, it's still a Rakdos life, but it's the kind of life that everybody in the Rakdos wants. Mm-hmm. So I guess, Torgor, like, what do you do? Like, you have this conversation, you have this internal decision, but what does it look like when you make your decision, and what do you say? Right? Or do you need more convincing one way or the other? I think Torgor looks down at everything and looks up at the group. I have to do this. It's too important for us. It is. It is important for us. I know it feels like it's just for me. And I would be lying if I said it wasn't a portion of it. But we need a Parun who could take down the Guildpact. And I truly don't think anyone else could do that except for a literal demon.
Here's the thing, guys. Rel might not know what I look like. So he might not even need this vinegar. He could use, and like he steps outside of the room. That vinegar. And he points at Gary.
Yeah, maybe we send Gary. So when you look out, Gary is in the middle of, if you didn't know him any better, you'd think he was in the middle of like a Jerry Lewis routine, because he's got a tray with a bunch of like parfait cups, and he's like, whoa, 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 like trying to keep them balanced, and like, yeah, and he drops them on the floor. He's like, oh, geez, I gotta get a mop. And you see him like, yeah.
How about you just disguise yourself as Gary? Because frankly, I don't trust that.
Torgor, you should get out of here. You've got a date and we've got a plan.
Torgor,
you take 300 cold damage, and you are killed.
I would like to fail an insight check on whatever is going on between Rune
do
and
it.
Torgor. Just like, man, she's like really intense.
Yeah, something's going on. Yeah, do it.
Oh no, I've already failed. It's fine.
Oh, you intentionally failed. Yeah, okay, good. I like the way you phrase that. I'm gonna pretend to make an insight check, but yeah, okay, all right. Something's going on for sure. But yeah, Torgor, what do you say? Tak is doing the ping pong ball thing, right? Like watching the two of you have this conversation. But yeah, so Rode is basically like, all right, man, time to go. Do you just leave, Torgor?
Yeah.
Do you
like
put your clothes on first, or
no?
Nice.
No. I just I pick them up, put them over my arm, and walk out. Awesome. And shut the door behind me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You all hear as Torgor leaves. You hear Gary be like, "Whoa, cool duds, Torgor."
Thanks, Gary. I'll get you one too later.
Oh boy.
I wish he was like, thanks, Vinegar, and then leaves.
All right, so Torgor, you leave the Host in the Shell and head for the train, making your way down to Rick's Muddy through the Guild Gate. Meanwhile, Tak, Rode, and Vinegar, what is the plan? Who's going to the abandoned Carnarium? Who's going to go and meet with Ral? And what's that going to look like?
Vinegar, I think that if he knows your name, he knows who you are. I don't think we should underestimate our enemy here.
I don't know. He's a total idiot when I talk to him.
But why do we have to meet him? I don't understand that part.
Pinky promised you would. Well, technically, Pinky promised I'd tell him that we were building a bomb.
I mean,
the rest was kind of for free.
Vinegar, information is information, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just not feeling it today, guys.
He hates Dovin Ban. He like smooches Jace or whatever. And when are you gonna get this chance again?
You can stay home and I'll go, but I'm going.
Rode, you're gonna do this alone? Come on. Let's just find something cool to do.
If you really want to fuck with Ral's Eric, you will disguise yourself as Tomic and then show up.
Oh yeah,
it was Vinegar.
I was Vinegar the entire time.
Yeah, Vinegar is my secret.
I never loved you.
Please destroy their relationship.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how you kill a planeswalker. You break their stupid heart.
Vinegar would know, wouldn't you, Vinegar? Popping in and out.
Rode. Okay, tell you what, Rode. We'll go do your thing, but then you gotta owe me one.
All right.
Pinky promise.
Tack does leave out, because TK left out,
Mhm.
that they also promised their dumb jail boyfriend that they would let them meet Winnegar too.
Mm.
TK and Tack just remembered that and like watches Winnegar pinky promise with Katie May and is just like,
Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
get chill.
Tybalt is actually probably pretty happy right now about Tack, right? Like, because Tack went to the secret meeting, and then the Izzet were like, "You're free to go," and he's like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah." So Tybalt's out in the streets of Ravnica, just like, I'm a free man. Yeah, where'd that little
my
goblin go?
My husband. He's gonna be so hard to murder.
We have to go find him.
Yes.
Find
I have
your
to go
boyfriend.
test how hard he is to kill.
Winnegar's gonna kill this guy the first second he gets.
Please. I need to know how easy he is to kill.
He'll be the first character Winnegar kills.
Yep. All right, so Road and Winnegar, you're gonna go to the Carnarium.
Wait, Tack's coming with us.
I was gonna say, Tack, are you going along too, or are you gonna split off and go try to find your boyfriend?
I'm totally coming with. Like, they're not gonna be able to find it if I don't tell them.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, you know the way. Okay. All right. Good.
Adam,
Well,
can you
but I
confirm
am
this?
keeping
There
an
aren't some
eye out.
secret messages being passed between there that could elicit TK's, I don't know, sudden disappearance on the party members again.
I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny any private messages I might have received during the course of this show.
I'll tell you right now, I didn't send anything.
The game master player contract is a sacred one, and I can't
Right.
I can't out those secrets.
You can trust me this week because I'm wearing a sleeveless tank. That means that I'm trustworthy.
Yes, that's science.
Sleeves out, hearts out. I see you.
Excellent. All right. Well, so we'll start there next time. We'll do the big important date with Judith, and we'll see how this meeting with Ral goes with Big Boss Winnegar. I'm very excited. Carlos, think about if Winnegar has like a different boss outfit you want to wear, maybe with like an eye patch, or maybe you glue a cool beard on or something. But yeah, ponder it in between the episodes. But yeah, so that's our episode for today. Let's do experience so I don't forget, and then we'll do some shout outs and we'll go from there. So my friends, let's see here. Do we learn something about Jace Beleren, his conspirators, or servants today? It's funny, this is actually getting easier the broader the conspiracy gets, because now as soon as you learn something about someone connected to Jace, then you get experience,
yes.
which is cool. Yeah, I think
With Ral.
Yeah, I think with Ral. Yep. Yeah, and it would have been just Tack, but Tack shared that with everybody. So yeah, mark one experience for that for everybody. Did anybody learn something important about a fellow member of the conspiracy?
I feel like everybody learned that Tack
Yeah.
cannot be trusted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That
Well,
sounds
I
about
think
right.
I think helping Torgor into that leather outfit was a point within itself.
Oh yeah, you learn more about Torgor than you ever needed to.
Yeah.
Got 6 nipples? Is that normal for Minotaurs? I don't know.
It's a you thing.
Yeah. I think there's multiple times where during this episode everybody learned something. So everybody mark another experience for that. Did you express your connection to your guild in a meaningful way this session? I think Torgor did. Yeah, I think Torgor did for sure. Yeah, okay. And then did anybody's alignment complicate their life in an interesting way?
I am going to argue for mine just because I sold out my friends for my dumb prison boyfriend that I've known for 3 minutes.
That is true. Yes. Yeah. The hot new guy immediately just took over loyalty. Yeah. It's good though. I mean, like in the grand rankings of all the Planeswalkers, Tybalt is, I don't know, him and Domri are fighting over who is the like hot idiot twink, because they're both pretty like, yeah. Wait till you meet him. He's the worst.
In my
okay.
defense, I would sell out Winnegar for a Klondike bar. So
Yes, that is
really, they overpaid.
that is true. Excellent. All right, cool. Well, that's our episode. Thanks for coming, everybody. Let's do some shout outs. Carlos, why don't you begin?
Hey everyone, my name is Carlos Luna. You can find me on all social media under Carlos Crits. Currently, I don't have anything going on or traveling anywhere right now. But you can see my videos on Roll20 app, that YouTube channel. I make update videos, as well as I got some new stuff in the works that'll be coming out this month as well.
Yeah. Are you doing, or I guess is someone doing a video about the new dynamic lighting? Because it's my favorite thing in Roll20, and hearing that it's being updated, I'm like, yes, please, more.
Yes. So there is, last night I finished a quick 30-second highlight thing of it, a hype reel basically.
Yeah.
But I will be doing a more thorough dynamic lighting.
A look at it. Cool. Yeah. I've been playing with it a little bit on the dev server, and it's great. It's so cool. It's so fun.
It's great. Just having to do the video, I had to spend a couple hours learning it and getting really good with it, but it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Cool. Well, so keep an eye out on Roll20 app for that. Let's go up this way. Katie May, why don't you go next?
Oh gosh, whenever you point, I just get so confused.
Yeah, me too, because everybody's in a different place, and I'm mirrored over here but not there, so I don't know.
Hi, I'm Katie May. When I'm not being a jellyfish lady, a mean jellyfish woman, you can catch me DMing Dungeons, Dice, and Everything Nice, which is a queer little all women, all non-binary cast podcast. It's been going 3 years now. It's the love of my life. We have a really fun time. You can catch that at dungeonsdice.com. We just had a really good time at C2E2, but I told you all about that last week. But for now, we're putting out some sweet eps. And if you become a fan and join the Discord, there is a channel where Jace Beleren Must Die is discussed sometimes. Yes. So it's fun.
Yeah, there's been some good fan art from there. Also, I really like that Dungeons, Dice, and Everything Nice is the love of your life, which I guess makes us your mildly amusing side piece.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't introduce Jace Beleren Must Die to my real friends because I'm embarrassed to know you.
Well, it's very fun because it's a fun chain because especially when the Demir stuff was in its height, I would be way more cruel in my sessions, and my players were like, what's happening?
Yes, the cycle of abuse.
Yes.
My DM's being mean to me, so I'm going to be mean to you.
My players.
Sounds about right. Excellent. Cool. Masood, why don't you go next?
Sure. Hey guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Marudeboy, MAHRUDEBOI. It's the easiest way to keep up to date about what I'm up to, what comedy stuff I'm involved with, things I got going around the corner. The show that I've been directing and putting together is going up at Second City on March 21st. It's going to be running through April 18th. So if you're in the area, come out on a Saturday night at 7:30. We'd love to have you. Otherwise, you can find me on Monday evenings on Adam's channel playing Zweihander. This past week, he ended up chatting with the game dev, so we had it off, at least cast-wise. But if you come in next week, there's going to be some weird resolutions that we're all looking forward to.
Yeah, we left off in a very strange place. I'm excited to see what happens to your character.
Me too. Yes.
Cool. And last but not least, throwing cupcakes and taking names. TK, why don't you do a shout out for us?
It's me. Oh, I can't throw my bangs anymore. Never mind. Anyway, it's me. It's TK. I write spooky stories. I put them on the internet. I've started putting more of the stories on my Twitter. Like them or don't. I genuinely don't care. Hang out at my website or don't, whatever, tkjwrites.com. Follow me on Twitter, TK Joins the Fray. Hang out with me Friday nights where I run a superior cast through a superior show.
Wow.
Sorry, I was like, how can I one up Katie May's hurtfulness of declaring Jace Beleren Must Die as her mistress? I didn't mean any of that. Obviously, I have a ton of fun here, and I am blessed and honored that they even put up with me. The money's nice too. Yeah, that's it. Goodbye.
Excellent. Thanks, everybody. This has been another episode of Jace Beleren Must Die. You can find the podcast version of the show wherever podcasts are found, and you can check out previous videos as well as all of the other shows that we do over on Roll20 app on YouTube, as Carlos mentioned. You're going to see me again on Monday for Descent into Avernus. We're about 3/4 of the way through that adventure, and I'm really excited about seeing if we can get it to the end. Big confrontation with Zariel. Otherwise, you can find me over on my Twitch channel doing RPG stuff, twitch.tv/Adam Coble. So that's it for us. Thank you for coming, as always, and we will see you next time for more weird pre-show and Mominatrixes, I guess. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.